Her words stopped me, stuttered in my chest. My throat closed up. I looked at her, really looked at her, at the features that didn't resemble either the vice commander or the lieutenant corporal. Amber's mouse friend, the quiet one who never stood underfoot. What about my... She swallowed, hard, relaxing her grip. Her arms circled my neck, and it was only now that I realized this child was sitting in my arms like a kid with their parent. What about my papa? Or Sir Rory? Her lower lip wobbled uncontrollably. I can't speak for Sir Rory, but I can speak for my papa. I already knew so much about you, Sir Al, even though we'd hardly spoken, and all the times we'd seen each other. Papa sent us a lot of letters. He was a lot more wordy than Mama. Amber and I always gathered around Vera at mail time because they were filled with stories. And all the stories had familiar characters, we called them. She smiled awkwardly. I'm sure you can guess who those characters were. I didn't smile back. Why are you doing this to me? I asked, letting out a huff. Can't you see that I don't want to be here? Can't you see that... I stopped. You know what? Just stop. Stop bringing up the vice commander. The Lions don't exist anymore. That's the truth. Bringing up the past, bringing up... What do you mean? She started crying again. Where did all these tears come from? How can the Lions not exist anymore? Her arms tightened around my neck until I got an eyeful of her mussed hair. She mostly smelled like tears, but there was something delicate, something fragile there too. Lyra was so young, just a little mouse. There's a lion right here. Please, please don't leave us, she said into my neck. And I can't believe it, but I gave in. What do you even want from me? I asked snidely. I'm no parent, no guardian. I'm a soldier whose only strengths are cutting off the heads of demons and surviving in the scrub for months at a time. Weakly, her voice vibrated against my skin, filtering slowly up to my ears. Promise you won't do it. You won't kill yourself. Not for as long as we need you. Promise. Whatever. Her head tilted back, peeking at my face from the pillow of my shoulder. You have to promise. I glared up at the ceiling, shaking my head. I did that for a long time as I tried to contain the dark anxiety creeping into my peripheral vision. The only reason I'd been able to kill the boss was because I knew I would die soon after. I'd never thought about the future. I tried looking at it now, and it looked back at me. No Rory, no boss, no vice commander or those two idiots, no lions, no Rory, no Rory, no Rory. A pain burst in my chest, and I found I couldn't breathe without touching it. Each time I inhaled, it dug in a little deeper, a little more, a little more. Someday, would this pain be enough to kill me? I guess I'd find out. I sighed. I promise. Mouse gave a full-body leap off of me. Say it properly. She poked a finger in my face. I sighed, summoning my inner Bellant. Okay, yeah, so I won't what? Won't, take my life by sword or by anything else, I added at her glare, for as long as you need me. She hummed. Maybe we should do a blood pact. I laughed at that. Aren't both of us already bleeding, Mouse? Let's just call it good. I'm not a liar like the commander. Lyra nodded, and just as she nodded, the other one twitched and came back to life. Amber sat up, trinkets and fallen objects rolling clunkily off her body. Amber! Lyra raced to her friend, fresh tears flicking off her cheeks. This girl was an endless well of water. Where does it hurt? Don't try to get up. Not too fast. It'll be all right. Don't think about it right now. We'll get you help. A strange look plastered itself across Amber's face, like the wanted posters guards used to locate street rats. The glue wasn't the good kind, so half of it peeled off, revealing the smooth surface of the building below it. Mouse, I said, hold up. Lyra gripped Amber's arms with bloody hands, but at my words, she fell to her knees, giving the girl some breathing room. Amber, she asked, voice thick with anxiety. What's wrong? Amber's red hair was wet with the stickiness of blood, though I couldn't tell where the gashes were. The commander had used at least half his strength against this tiny thing. I wouldn't be surprised if she had several broken ribs, but at least she'd been able to sit up on her own. Maybe we got lucky, and her body would just ache for a while. She wet her lips, swiping blood out of her mouth, sliming her upper lip with it. The girl tilted her head, looking first at Lyra, then at me, before saying, Amber, is that me?